everyone doing out there? It's Coach Pat back here with another tip of the week for you. So we're going to move on from the core stability series that we were working on. Now we're going to talk about back pain. So if you're a golfer that experiences back pain at any point throughout the season, pay attention to the next few weeks. We're going to give you a few good tips here to hopefully get that back feeling better. So if we have a golfer that walks in the door and they're experiencing back pain, one of the first key areas that I want to make sure that we look at is their hips. So a lot of time what happens with our golfers that lack hip rotation, whether that's either internal rotation or external rotation, either way can cause the lower back to take extra stress. So if I can't load and turn into my hip, or I can't clear into my lead hip, or my right hip or my trail hip doesn't externally rotate the way that I need as I come down to impact, some other structures are going to have to take that force, and that tends to be where lower backs tend to get a little bit cranky. So I want to give you a few different variations here today to start working on opening up some of those hips. We're going to do a 90-90 back foot lift off and an external rotation lift off, or back knee lift off. That'll help us getting rotation both internally and externally. If you're really tight in the hips and have a hard time just getting down into this position, I'll give you a few other variations that you can try that are a little bit progressed off that, so we can start building up some of that hip mobility, so then hopefully you can progress your way into the 90-90 position. So give these a try.
All right, we got our 90-90 here. So first thing we're going to work on is lifting our back foot off the ground, driving our knee down into the ground, focusing on not rocking and using momentum to lift it, but truly by rotating through the hip. Next variation is going to be lifting the knee off the ground. This is going to be working on external rotation in the hip. So foot stays down, lift the knee up as high as you can. So as you'll notice from this next angle, I have my hand on the ground to help me with support. The further that I lean out to the side, the easier this should be. The more vertical I get my torso, the harder this is going to be. And the hardest way to do it is by taking your hand off the ground and having to stabilize and create that hip rotation. If that's too difficult for you, we can go to a reverse clamshell. This will be working the internal rotation in the hip, just in a little bit easier position. So we're focused on squeezing the block, push the knee down into the block, lift the foot as high as we can. For external rotation, we can go to a standing clamshell with our foot on the wall. So foot stays on the wall as we separate our knees as far as we can. Should feel the outside of the hip working here. If balance is a limitation, you can always do a clamshell from a side lying position as well. But I want you to try to continue to stay in that 90-90 position, even if you're just hanging out there for 30 seconds on each side, to start to open up those hips as we work on these side lying variations or our standing clamshell as well. Give them a go.